What's up guys? Today we're going to do some maintenance and setup on the no prep car. Let's get started. So I've been mentioning in the past couple videos that I need to replace the drive cups on this car. You can see I have a little bit of play here and the drive cups are a little worn down, so it's time to replace them. One of the problems is I locked the diff in this car a long time ago. I took some JB Weld and threw inside the diff to completely lock it, so it's not as easy as just taking the drive cups out and replacing them. So I went ahead and bought a brand new diff case, some brand new outdrives, and I also picked up a locker this time. This one's from One Up Racing. I've had a lot of people comment about trying out an open diff in this car with a really heavy oil. I'd like to try that, but I don't have another set of diff gears, and these are basically locked in the diff because they're, well, welded in. So today I'm going to install this for now, and then whenever I get some more gears in, then I can take it out easily, replace it with the gears, and run an open diff just to try it out. This will also give me the chance to clean the car up a good bit. You can see all the dust and debris inside of there. You'd be surprised how quickly these no prep cars get dirty and dusty, even though they're not really going off-road, if you're driving them correctly anyway. So let's start pulling it apart, get those outdrives changed out, and clean it up a bit. Man, we can really see how dirty it is now that it's out of the car. I think we're gonna get this cleaned up before we start taking anything apart. That's a little better. Let's rip into this thing now. I decided to do a little cleaning while I was in there too, and I came across this bearing that's completely shot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new diff together and replace some of those bearings while I'm at it. Man guys, I think I messed up here. I was trying to install the locker in the new diff case and I couldn't get it to install right. They had a lot of play side to side in it and the outdrives never actually locked into place. I always had one that was spinning. So I started looking at the old diff case and the new one, did a little research online, and I think I actually bought the wrong diff case. This one's for an RC10 B6.1. and it looked like it was the same as the DR10 one or B5M one here, but it's actually a little wider. I noticed it when I went to put it back in the transmission, just trying to fit it in. I can't actually close the case all the way. You can see that gap there, hopefully. Luckily, I do still have the cover from the other diff I had in, and it fits on there, and with it on I can get the transmission case to fully close up, and it seems like it'll fit. So I'm gonna try to get the locker installed in this now with the other cover on, and I'm gonna have to order a new diff case. Guess I'll just order that at the same time I order those diff gears to try out the open diff as well. We got it all back together. Now let's throw it back in the car. So I got the transmission back in the car, but we're not gonna put the back tires on just yet. I've been wanting to go through and check the alignment on this car and make sure everything's nice and straight. I want to go through and check things like the camber on the rear tires, make sure they're at 0. Make sure I'm not having anything that could pull the car to one side or the other. I went ahead and designed and 3D printed an alignment jig. These will just bolt up where the tires go. I'll have the files for these available on Thingiverse if anybody needs some. Figured this was easier than buying some and waiting for them to come in. So I'm gonna go through, get these installed real quick, and then we'll go through and align the car. So I got the setup wheels installed here. I got a sheet of carbon fiber underneath it just because there's some give to this pit mat that I have on my workbench. And you don't really want that when you're trying to set up and align these cars. The best thing right here would be a camber gauge to check the camber. But I don't have one of those. I'm kind of doing this DIY style. I'm going to use an angle finder. To have 0 degrees of camber, my angle finder should read 90 degrees. If it's anything less than 90 degrees, I'll have positive camber. Anything more than 90 degrees, I'll have negative camber. So let me get you set up and we'll check out this first side. Alright, so all I'm going to do is set my angle finder down on the carbon fiber and lift up on the back side. And we're reading about 87.2, which means I have about 2, almost 3 degrees of positive camber in the car right now. It's definitely not what I want. And let's see, as the car settles, it actually gets worse as the car settles. So now I can use my wrench here. Go ahead and start adjusting that. That's pretty close there. Let's see what it looks like as it travels. Yeah, so that side don't look too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and then we'll move on. Okay, so I got the same thing done to the front 2 tires. Got it at 0 degrees camber. Nice and straight. Now I want to check the toe on the front tires. I have some little points made on my setup wheels here. The manufactured setup kits would have basically like a center line and you'd measure side to side. What I'm going to do is center out my servo, measure the front as well as the back, and get them the same. Maybe you'll understand it more as I'm doing it. To start off though, we got to turn the car on. We want the car on the whole time so that the servo is centered and it's not out of whack at all. Hopefully that fan's not too loud, but we're about an 1/8 inch off. So I need the toe to come in to the front a little bit. Alright, so I got that pretty spot on front and rear. I'm really happy with. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the tires back on it now. Alright, so we got the whole car aligned now. I know there's better ways to align the car, more accurate ways, but this was my little DIY way of aligning the car, getting it roughly correct, and we'll test it out and see how it works. After some trouble, we got the new outdrives in the diff with the locker installed. I'll get that new diff on the way with the gears so I can try out an open diff as well. I have 1 or 2 more things I want to do in the car, but I think today's video is long enough. So I'm going to end it there. You guys have been showing a ton of support on these build videos and these wrenching videos, so I really appreciate that. Make sure to keep leaving the likes down there if you're enjoying the videos. I'm thinking about a new body for the car. Let me know in the comments below what body you'd like to see next on this car. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And like I mentioned in the past couple videos, I recently launched a Patreon page. If you want to support the channel and interact a little bit more with me, check out the link in the description to check out my Patreon page. But that's it for today. As always, thanks again for watching. Peace.